So it's 2026 and you have seen a bunch of videos on why starting a remote cleaning business is such a successful business model, but you're overwhelmed by all the information. Maybe you don't even know where to start, or maybe you don't even really understand what the business model itself is. So I want to give you guys a quick, straight to the point, full breakdown of how to start a remote cleaning business in 3 steps. Now, for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Zach. I have been running my own remote cleaning service for a few years now. Last month, we did a little over $60,000 in gross revenue, which for us is around $25,000 to $30,000 a month in profit. This business is now fully passive. We have virtual assistants, automations, and all that stuff in place to be able to allow us to have that time freedom. So realistically, we are working on this business just a few hours each week, and that is going to be paying out our cleaners as well as paying out our virtual assistants. And this allows us to have a ton of time and a ton of flexibility to put into other things. One of those is creating videos like this, helping you guys out, different business models, or just other parts of the business in general. So if you guys want to take your business to the exact same point, watch this video. So for those of you guys who don't know exactly what a remote cleaning business is, basically you are acting as the middleman. You are finding clients who need a cleaning service, you're finding cleaners who are looking for more work, you're pairing them up, and you're taking a cut of every single job. So basically you are finding the cleaning contracts, whether that is for a residential place, a commercial, or something completely different, and then you are subcontracting out the labor, and then you are profiting off the actual labor. So you can technically be cleaning anywhere from 5 to 10 homes a day without ever leaving your home. The reason this business model is so successful is a couple different reasons. Number one, it's not going anywhere. This business has been around for 20 plus years. It'll be around for 20 plus years. It's not going anywhere. AI cannot replace it. Robots are not going to take over. It's not one of those things you need to worry about. Another reason is everybody uses a cleaning service. Think about when you're walking down the street or you're driving to a new area. There's new homes, there's new apartments, there's new businesses. All of those places need a cleaning service. They all want a clean environment. And finally, the reason this business is so much better than like any other service business is the amount of reoccurring clients that you get. We used to do like window washing, pressure washing, things like that. Think about, okay, window washing, right? How often do people actually want their windows washed? Maybe once a year. Cleaning, they want it twice a month. So that one client that we would have had one time a year, we now have 24 times that year, if that puts things into perspective. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump into what starting this business actually looks like. So the very first thing we are going to need to do is legally establish this business. So you're going to want to go ahead and set up a LLC. This is a limited liability corporation. This will obviously legally establish your business. It will separate your personal self from the business, and it will just keep you protected if anything were to happen. It's also just a better look. By getting an LLC, you are now separating yourself from like the individual house cleaners that you're finding online, and it will give you more opportunity later on. So get an LLC. From here, we're going to need an EIN. This is for tax purposes. It will also allow you to open up a business bank account, which is going to be the next thing. So yes, go ahead and open up a business bank account. This is where all your business expenses will be held. You're also moving forward going to want every single business expense going in and out of this account. You're not going to want to bring in personal stuff because when it does come time to taxes, it will be a lot easier to keep track of everything, as well as this is just doing it the right way. So that is going to be step 1, which is going to be setting up the legal side of things. From here, we can now move into the back end side of things. And the very first thing that we're going to want to set up is some general liability insurance. So insurance, you're going to want to get some general liability insurance. The bare minimum that you are going to want is about $1 million of general liability insurance. This will allow you to get on certain platforms like Google LSA. It will also protect you if something were to happen. A lot of clients will ask for it, as well as like commercial properties, and different platforms are going to want you to have insurance. $1 million of general liability insurance sounds like a lot. It's only about $30 to $35 a month, depending on which platform you actually go through with. We use Simply Business, and yes, ours is about $35 a month. Next, you're going to want to set up a business phone number. And no, you do not need a separate phone. You can just set up a actual like business phone platform. What we use is Quo, which was formerly OpenPhone. There's like Ring Central, there's Google Voice, certain things like that. This will give you a separate business phone number, but it will still be connected to your personal phone. So you need one phone, and now it will have your business calls as well as your personal calls. But the reason for having a business phone number is a few different reasons, right? Number one is your main number is not going to be on Google or on the internet. You don't want that because with a business, you're going to be receiving a lot of spam calls, unfortunately, and you can set up certain blockers that can filter that out really easily. Number two is it keeps everything in one place. So you can log onto that app. You can see all the clients that have texted you, all the calls, things like that. And everything is now organized in one place. So you don't need to scroll through like past, oh, your mom just texted you, but there's a client now texting you. It just keeps that stuff in one place. Also, a lot of these platforms come with a bunch of key features. What we love about Quo is that it records the calls. So for whatever reason, maybe, oh shoot, the booking didn't go through, or we forgot the address or something like that, we can go back, listen to the call, and it keeps track of everything. It also can keep you protected, right? In case, they say, oh, hey, I asked for this and you guys didn't deliver that and whatever. It's all tracked in there. So get a business phone number. Now we're going to need somewhere to actually store all this information and keep the clients and cleaners organized, allow you to actually book through your website, things like that. And that is going to be a CRM. We use Booking Koala. It has worked great for us. It's what we started with. We haven't tried out another CRM. We haven't had a need to, just because it works really, really well. But yeah, what this will allow you to do is obviously, number one, it will keep everything organized. It will allow the cleaners to clock in, clock out. You can auto calculate prices. Clients can book directly through your website or through the CRM. And then when there's a job that goes onto that calendar, the cleaners will actually be able to see that job. And so keeps everything organized. You're gonna want this because this will actually allow you to scale. Now, in order to actually take payments over the phone or through your website, you are going to need a payment processor. Really, any payment processor will work. We've used Stripe, we've used Square, all that stuff, and they'll link pretty perfect with Booking Koala. You can use other platforms. We don't have too much experience with other platforms, but yeah, get a payment processor. It'll allow you to send invoices. It'll allow you to take credit cards over the phone, and you're going to want that because you're not going to want your clients to be paying cleaners cash or sending you checks or things like that, because it's just going to be way too difficult. The very last thing we're going to need for the back end side of this business is setting up a website. More specifically, you really just need a landing page. It doesn't need to be all that. And don't overthink this process, okay? It's a basic landing page. It's going to have your name, a place to book, and the services on there, and maybe like reviews or something. That's really it. It is a cleaning service. This is not a tech business. You do not need to overcomplicate that. So set up a good website. You can do this on Wix. You can go on Fiverr and hire someone. You could use AI to build you one. There's endless of options. This is probably about $15 to $20 a month. So yeah, get a website. It'll give you that credibility, and it will allow clients to actually book directly through your website. Now let's jump into how we're actually going to get the work done. So that is going to be hiring cleaners, and that is going to be running advertisements. So the very first thing is, yes, we are going to need to hire cleaners. Now, how do we hire cleaners? There's a couple different routes that we can go about this. Number one, any sort of job application website works really, really well. So something like Indeed. You can also use like local groups, so local Facebook groups, Nextdoor. What has worked really well in the past for us is like an apply now page on our website, as well as like a lot of these cleaners know other cleaners that need more work. So word of mouth, you can ask around your cleaners. You can say, hey, do you know anyone else that needs more work? 9 out of 10 times they have a cousin that does it. They have someone that they've worked with in the past. And now all of a sudden you have a team and they can work really, really well together. So hire cleaners. Now, once you have found a couple good potential contacts for these cleaners, you are going to want to actually go through the vetting process. So this is going to be a little bit more of an extensive process. And the easiest way to do this is, let's say, all right, you just found a brand new number, whether that's off Indeed, off Nextdoor, off Facebook, whatever. You're going to want to probably send them a text so they know who's actually calling them, and ask them for some very basic questions. Where is their location? How many years of experience do they have? Do they have some supplies? And then are they available for a quick call? If everything checks out, hop on a quick call with them. It can be a 5-minute call. Just briefly explain the details and make sure that they understand, make sure that they can have a conversation with you, and make sure it's something that they're actually interested in. If they are, you can then get them onto a video call. This can be later that day, this can be the following day, but having a video call will allow you to speak face to face with the cleaner. It will allow you to have a real, genuine conversation, make sure that they are actually like a real person, that they're nice, that they understand the actual job itself, and then you can go into details on everything. You're going to want to ask them some pretty basic questions, right? Obviously make sure they understand the job, but you're also going to want to make sure that they have supplies, they have transportation, they're willing to pass a background check, they're authorized to work in the US, things like that. If everything checks out, you can onboard them. You're going to want to send them some sort of agreement form. And this is basically stating, hey, you're not going to steal the clients from myself. You're not going to go behind our back. You're not going to do things like that. You also understand the pay and stuff like that. So get them on a contract. You then next, the last thing is send them a W-9 form. You're going to need this for tax purposes. So that is onboarding the cleaners. The very last step is going to be sending them on a test clean. For a test clean, you can use a couple different options. The easiest way to do this is use your own property. Number one, you get a free clean, well, not a free clean out of it. You're going to want to pay for the labor. It'll probably be like $40 to $80, but now you have a fresh cleaned home. This will also allow you to get a feel for their scope of work. Did they actually do a good job? Did they show up on time? Basic things like that. If everything checks out, you can now start to send them to clients' homes. You may be asking, how are we actually going to find these clients? Paid advertisements is going to be the way to go for you guys. It is going to be the easiest, it's going to be the quickest, and it's going to save you the most amount of time. There's a couple different organic routes that we can go as well if you guys don't want to do the paid advertisements. What has worked really well for us is, once again, getting in local groups. So local Facebook groups, Nextdoor works really well, but you do not want to really sell your cleaning service. You want to come off as very friendly. You want to say, hey, I am in this area. I opened up a cleaning service. Let me know if anyone's interested. Do not be hard selling. If you can build a good reputation in these local groups, you will go really, really far, right? Word spreads like wildfire there. But because of that, if you build a bad reputation, that will also get spread really, really quick. So just do not try and push yourself too hard, and make sure that you are actually taking pride in your work. A few other organic methods can be, you can technically do door-to-door sales. You can do email marketing. Make sure to network with your business. Tell everyone you have a cleaning service, things like that. You can definitely get some jobs out of that. But what's really going to take your business really far is going to be advertisements. So for advertisements, a couple different platforms that have worked phenomenally for us is going to be Google LSA, which is local service ads. Thumbtack has worked really well, and recently Meta Ads has worked really, really well for us. All three of these platforms are very straightforward. They're very easy to set up. If you're trying to get set up and a client as quickly as possible, I would recommend checking out Thumbtack. You can get signed up immediately. It does a quick little background check on you, but same day you set that up, you could probably expect a client. It's not crazy. If you want the absolute most amount of leads for the cheapest, Meta Ads will probably do that for you. And finally, if you want the widest variety of clients, this is where maybe you're gonna get commercial jobs, Airbnbs, big post-construction jobs, Google LSA. But I can warn you, Google LSA is typically very high quality clients, but because of that, it can be pretty expensive for each lead. Now, once the ads are up and running, the very last step is going to be booking these clients. It's going to be pretty straightforward. For platforms like Google LSA and any sort of Google ads, or even sometimes Meta Ads, you can expect your business to receive phone calls. You're going to want to answer immediately. You're not going to want to miss the calls, because that can detrimentally affect your actual rating on Google LSA. Platforms like Thumbtack, and 9 out of 10 times the way that you have set up Meta Ads, you are going to be the one to actually call this client, and once again, call them as quickly as possible, and you're just going to need to get some basic information from them. So on the CRM itself, it will ask you for their square feet, their bedrooms and bathrooms, and what type of service they're looking for. All you need to do is input that information, read off the number that it has on there, so it'll tell you, hey, this comes out to about $200 or $300 or whatever. You tell them that. If they're good with it, you book it. The client or the cleaner sees the job, they go and do the job, they clock into that job, and then after the job is done, they clock out, and you just pay them for their clocked in, clocked out hours. You can also do a set percentage. You can do like a 50% cut. Certain people do it that way. We personally prefer hourly for a few different reasons. But yeah. Overall though, that is the process of actually starting and setting up a cleaning service. Moving forward, you're going to want to bring in some virtual assistants to be able to handle the phone calls for you. You can look into automations. And in order to scale, it's pretty easy, right? You're going to want to expand out to new areas. How do you do that? You find cleaners in that area. You then run advertisements in that area. That's it. It's that simple. Hopefully this video was able to help you guys out. Moving forward, I am going to make a deep dive video into every single one of these topics. Exactly what we do, how we do it, go about it, and actual live footage from inside of our cleaning service so you guys can see. So for example, like when it comes time to hiring the cleaners, I'll show you what a video call looks like with our cleaners. I'll show you what a phone call looks like with those cleaners. So expect that all very, very soon. But if this helped, comment below any more questions that you guys have. Go ahead and subscribe. I have a ton more content coming out for you guys.